Good morning, everybody. It is April 20th and I'm at Grandeur Peak and I want to try and see what I can find here. I don't have much hope to find anything unique, but I am doing a few things to make my camera's footage quality better. I've got the aperture fixed so that it's a higher f-stop, which will make more things in focus. And I've also turned on wind reduction, which has been a problem for my videos in the past. And finally, I put this motion control setting on, so hopefully that fixes some of the shakiness. We have to see, and man, just look how green the mountain is right now. This is incredible. You're not going to find Grandeur Peak or the Wasatch green, much more green than this, at least not at this elevation. And like in 2 months, this is going to be pretty much yellow and completely, except for the trees. And certainly by July it will be. But for now, it's a peak growing season and it is nice and green. Okay, I'm actually extremely excited to see this right now, but I guess the parks employees, maybe parks, or it might be Forest Service, I don't know who it was, but someone who was contracted to do this came along and they pull all this myrtle spurge. It's fantastic. It's like a holocaust of myrtle spurge up here. It's one of the best things I've ever seen. I'm actually really happy to see this. Man, that's like, it must be like hundreds of pounds of it just absolutely obliterated here. I know that I my previous job working for the Trails and Natural Lands, I pulled a ton of this crap, and it looks fantastic now. I mean, I really hate this plant so much, it's, at least outside of its native habitat, which I've never got to experience it because it's native to Europe. But right now, it's just, my God, it's like a crime scene for this plant. Like, look at that. Wow. Oh, he's also a ton of bags we just found right there, actually. Was not expecting to see all that. I'm guessing that's honestly bagged up myrtle spurge right there. That's probably not just someone dumping illegally, because I don't know why you do it right there, but they're probably just all myrtle spurge. God, it's such a horrific plant. It's so invasive and hard to control, and they have produced so many seeds. One thing they do actually is the fruit they produce, it dries up, it explodes, it violently hisses, to use a more scientific term, and just throws its seeds everywhere. So that's how it spreads, and it just goes absolutely wild in this environment. Yeah, look at all that. I almost guarantee that it's all myrtle spurge. Well, this bag wasn't closed up, and it does indeed look like myrtle spurge to me. That and maybe some Dalmatian toadflax, which is also a pretty invasive plant. But look how many bags this is. It's just an absolute massacre of this plant, and there's tons. All of our dead friends are up there too. Yeah, those are all pulled up as well. So this is a fantastic sighting. It's one of the best things I've seen all day. I'm not even kidding. Seeing all that myrtle spurge has actually got me it makes me think about how bad my first video was. I missed a lot of points when talking about how to safely remove it. Like, when you're done with it, you should bag it up. You can throw it away directly if it's not gone to fruit, but if it's well into the season or already producing visible fruit, you got to bag it up or because the plant's going to continue to develop even outside of there, into the seeds or may fully ripen and become viable even though it's been pulled. So that's one thing you got to be careful of. And like I said, it's okay if you get, one of the reasons why you got to pull it from the ground like that and not rip the stems is because you rip the stems, you're more likely to get the sap on your hands and arms. So if you're able to pull out from the root directly, in addition to getting the whole plant out, you expose yourself to less sap. And of course, you got to wash up afterwards. Well, I guess the good news can last forever. It's pretty thick right here, unfortunately, the myrtle spurge. It's a pretty bad infestation, actually. But who knows? Hopefully they're next. God, it's pretty bad. Also, there are some ornamental irises that have clearly escaped from somewhere there. Those are native to, I can't tell you what species. I know there is one native iris at least to the mountains here, but they're not found in this part at all, not even close. Well, there you go. There's the whole spurge infestation. You can see all those light green plants are more myrtle spurge, unfortunately. But regardless, seeing all that control happen, I mean, it's a lot, but it's not enough to get all this unless they come back every day, which I doubt. I imagine this might be a property line situation where the myrtle spurge here is on maybe Forest Service land, while that was on city land or county land, so that the county has a priority to control it while the Forest Service does not. I mean, that's kind of unfortunate, but it's just how it happens very often. Guess while I'm at it, I might as well get some more test footage from just me walking alongside a forest. Once again, this is Quercus gambilia, Acer grandis, and Tatum dominated. Well, they're really the most common deciduous trees you'll find just like in the foothills, so that shouldn't be a surprise. More awful, crappy myrtle spurge. Gotta pan away from someone's yard, it's right here. Yeah, there's like a house like literally just like 20 feet away from me right now. And hopefully this vibration reduction works a little bit. I estimate in full that probably, quite likely, over a ton of myrtle spurge has been pulled. Like, I'm gonna try and see how much this bag weighs. That's pretty heavy. That could be 50 pounds or more pretty easily. So all those bags together could easily be like, and all the stuff I was in bag, easily over a ton, which is really a lot of plants, but there's much more to control. Also, just for you, my Australian viewers, check this out. Look at that nice and beautiful suburban sprawl we got there. All across the whole valley. Isn't that just like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? There's the tiny downtown right there. Alright, see ya.